Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of No More Excuses podcast, where we tackle obstacles, we face them head on, we take those challenges, we embrace them, and we work through them. It's the power of transformation. I'm Sandy Ballard, your host, the Badass Business Coach, and I'm your guide on this journey to greatness, to badassness, to realizing your badassness so you can do more, be more, and achieve more. And welcome to the second quarter, April 1st, and officially spring, right? I mean, even though the first day of spring was in March, April starts feeling like spring, doesn't it? And spring cleaning is going to be our topic today. So thank you for being here. Thank you for investing in you and sharing this podcast with others. So spring cleaning, both personally and professionally, it's something I love to work on and talk through with my clients. And just as we clean out our homes to allow for breathing room, we open up the windows, spring cleaning, right? It's time for new beginnings, and we can apply those same principles to our professional lives as well. So we're going to talk spring cleaning personally and professionally, because that's how I coach people. I see how they affect each other. I see what's affecting the other, and we work through it. So let's dive in. And first up is cleaning out. Yes, it's time to declutter and let go of anything that no longer serves us. And it's no matter if it's physical clutter in our homes or mental clutter in our minds, clearing out the spaces creates room for growth and new opportunities. And if you've listened to me for a while, I've talked a lot about if you're mentally not 100% or even 90%, how are you showing up for your family, especially if you celebrated Easter and had family and friends over? How were you? Were you present? Were you fully were you fully present, or were you on your phone thinking about work or thinking about something else that's going on in your life? Or were you there in the moment enjoying conversation and connections, right? Thinking about that. So if you're not operating at 100% mentally, what's going on? Is it that clutter that you walk into a room? Like me, I after the move, I had to throw away my filing cabinet because it was dented. It was hard to open. So I just threw it away. And now I have piles on my desk and piles on my floor. And it drives me batshit crazy when I walk in here. Yes, yes, it does. Oh my God. So I know, and it was just like last week, the realization of I've got to clean up that clutter so I don't just chip away at my wonderful, amazing brain. Right. So what is going on? If you're mentally not being intentional and in the moment, what's going on? Is it physical clutter? Is it stress of something else, personally or professionally? So seeing how those two things go together, when I walk downstairs, we don't have a dishwasher anymore in this new place. I know, right? It's like we wash the dishes after dinner, let them dry. I walk down to get breakfast or coffee, and I'm like, ugh, seeing all those dishes. I can't do anything else until I clean that up. I clean off the cabinets or the countertops and get everything in the cabinets, and I can think, right? It's just those physical things that make us mentally drained. So it's time to clean that out, right? That's tip number one. Number two is new. Spring is a season of renewal. It's the perfect time to generate growth and start reviewing. So also reviewing your goals, as well as just looking at the physical space. Look at what new you can do. So reviewing your goals helps you see, are there new ways of doing things? Is there something different you should be doing to generate growth? It's time to embrace new challenges, new ideas, new ways of thinking. Because a lot of times, once you clean out your physical clutter, clean out your mental clutter, you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much amazing brain space to think clearly. It's like you're done with the winter fog, and now you're like, wow, I can see clearly, I can think clearly. So, yeah, it's a challenge. But if you're looking at a new goal and you're facing a challenge, that's good. That means it's going to be a tough one, but worth it. So what new challenge are you facing? What new goal are you looking at? What goal did you have on your goal worksheet that you're like, this needs to be upped, or I need to do things differently to start making progress on that goal? What new ideas do I have? What new ways of thinking do I have to help me achieve those goals? Whether it's starting a new project, learning a new skill to help you achieve the goals, or step out of your comfort zone. Yes. Embracing the new injects vitality and excitement into our lives, both personally and professionally. And that's the thing, is just thinking through things differently. One of the things I helped one of my clients with years ago was just, it was more of mentally getting that out of, getting everything out of his mind onto paper, onto a big whiteboard. And I've got my giant Post-it note over there. I've got more off camera over here, but getting that out of his mind, getting all the clutter that was in his mind. He looked at it on the whiteboard, his ideas, what he's been doing, what he doesn't like about what he's been doing, what he wants to do. He looked at it and he was like, wow, that looks so different out of my head onto the board, because you can just get caught up mentally thinking about it, right? But once we did that, we could sort through everything, prioritize, and he came up with a new plan to go back to, because he was the leadership at a company, and he went back to the higher ups and said, I have a new idea on ways to do things to make things more streamlined. And they loved it, right? So you got to clean out, you got to allow for the season of new, and lastly, dust off. Just as we dust off our belongings to reveal the clean, the beauty, the whatever, let's dust off our goals, dreams, and passions. It's time to breathe new life into old ambitions and rediscover our sense of purpose, our why. Talk about that so much. By tapping into this renewed energy, enthusiasm, we can reignite our spark, our purpose, and pursue our goals with a little more excitement and motivation, right? Because that's the thing. It's like we get into that fog of winter, the holidays, all this shit. And then we get out of spring. Like I said, you can see things differently, clearer, get rid of the clutter and go, wow, okay, here's where I am with my goals personally and professionally. Here's what I'm thinking of now of different ways to actually start making progress on them. And so you gotta think through all of those, right? So clean out, think about new, and dust off what's just been sitting there for a winter, for a year, right? Well, a client of mine decided to declutter her workspace recently and reorganize her priorities, which was great. She said, no more excuses for chaos and distraction. Clearing out the clutter has brought her a new sense of clarity and focus. And I was like, oh, my little baby bird, right? So I love that. And I really appreciated the fact that we talked through that and then how that's going to affect her future progress on her goals. And also, I reached out to a friend of mine and client, Kristen from my indie world. Kristen Murney. She's a professional organizer and feng shui expert. I asked her to share some insights on spring cleaning and how it can transform our lives. And I asked her to give some advice to you listeners who want to embark on your own spring cleaning journey. And her reply was, thank you, Sandy, for asking for my input, as I love helping people declutter and get organized. And as a business owner myself, I understand how important that is, whether at home, especially if you work from home, like I do, she does, or at the office, as it directly affects your stress level and just that sense of overwhelm. So her advice is to start small and focus on one area at a time, whether it's your physical space, your digital clutter. Oh my gosh, people talk about their inboxes all the time, or your mental clutter. And even talking about the digital stuff, inbox, yeah, I end up, I'll go through that like once a week and be like, why did I hold on to that? Because it was something I was doing. It was like a to-do reminder. But also for me, I have so many screenshots from things I've seen, or maybe a webinar that I'll screenshot, do a screenshot of an idea. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's all this? And then how like attachments get saved into some weird ass file. I'm like, oh my God. So, you look at my desktop computer and you see all these files all over, and you go into these folders and it's like, what the hell is all that? That is overwhelming to me, and I love it when I have to travel, because that's usually what I do, because you can't get online on planes for the most part. So I clear out all that shit. So it's time to take that into consideration as well. So like you said, remember, in physical space, digital clutter, mental clutter, like I said, take it step by step. And she said to remember, spring cleaning isn't just about tidying up, it's about creating space for the things that truly matter in your life. I loved that. I loved hearing about that, because it's, we'll talk about what we need, and, making space for new ideas, new projects, new clients. But when she said for the things that truly matter in your life, that was gold. So I really appreciated Kristen giving me and you that little tidbit. So before we wrap up, let's leave you with the badass challenge for the week. Yes, I want you all to take some time to conduct your own spring cleaning, both personally and professionally. Declutter your physical space, review your goals, and dust off maybe an old goal, a dream, an idea, a project. Some of the stuff I have off the camera, it's like, oh, I did that workshop years ago. And so I'm like, it's all sitting there. It was an in-person one. I can make that a virtual one. I can do a recording and put that out there for all of you, which will be on my website, badassbusiness.coach. I'm creating a free, like they call it a vault, but it's more like a free resource area. So you'll have to check that out. There's a few things in there right now. So go to badassbusiness.coach and look for the tab that says resources, and I'll get some more free shit in there for you soon. But think about that. So take some time to conduct your own spring cleaning, personally and professionally. Declutter your space physically. Look at if you're mentally just like all over the place. Write everything down that's going on in your head, and let's talk through why. And then share it. Share it on wherever you're seeing this, or email me, sandy@sandyballard.com. Direct message me. Share your goal or your journey with us for a chance to win a free consult with me to help you spring clean your goals, right? So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to me and investing in you. And it's all declutter together. So that's a wrap for today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for investing in you. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, send me a review, or post a review, what you like about this podcast. And until next time, thank you so much. Stay badass. Cheers.